So, ambulance paramedics, advanced paramedics and emergency medical technicians will strike on Friday and again on February 28th and the 1st of March. The striking workers are members of the National Ambulance Staff Representative Association, NASRA, a branch of the PNA. The strike is a strike, Minister, for union recognition, for workers to be allowed to be represented by the trade union of their choice. You say the strike is regrettable. What's regrettable is that your government refuses to even talk to this trade union. What's admirable is that these workers are taking a stand for their rights. NASRA and the PNA are the union of choice for a very substantial block of ambulance workers. There are 1,800 workers in the National Ambulance Service. Perhaps you can tell us, Minister, how many of these 1,800 are frontline staff with patient contact, because approximately 600 of that number would seem to want to be represented by NASRA. Yet both your government and the HSE refuse to recognise this union. You adopt and continue to adopt a hardline, union-busting position. The government and the HSE do not want to be put under pressure to deal with the underfunding of the ambulance service and the consequent chronic overwork of ambulance staff. The National Ambulance Service is currently under-resourced to the point of approximately 600 staff and 300 ambulances at a minimum. Instead of confronting this issue, your government prefers to overstretch ambulance staff with pressure, threats and suspensions from National Ambulance Service management used to whip the service into shape. According to the National Ambulance Service National Staff Survey 2016, carried out by Ipsos MRBI on behalf of the service, 48% of staff members experienced bullying or harassment in the organisation in the previous 2 years. Every worker in the service knows that a massively disproportionate amount of that bullying and harassment came from management. As an example of the methods used, there are currently 2 ambulance paramedics out of work on suspension in Macroom, County Cork. Why? Because one of them cited a health and safety concern related to extra duties demanded at the end of a 12-hour shift. The formal disciplinary procedure only takes 4 to 6 weeks to process. But these workers have been suspended now, incredibly, for 8 full months. Why? Is it an accident that they are both members of NASRA and that one of them is the NASRA rep for the Cork-Kerry region? Now, this management bullying culture in the ambulance service must end. The union chosen by hundreds upon hundreds of ambulance staff must be recognised and proper investment must be made into the service. On January the 22nd, members of SIP2 refused to pass pickets placed by their ambulance service work colleagues in NASRA. I have no doubt that they will do so again this Friday, once again in defiance of appeals from their own union leadership. The stance of these rank-and-file SIP2 ambulance staff should set the template for the whole trade union movement in supporting this important fight for union recognition. 71 years ago, a leaflet went into every home in the UK. It read, "Your new National Health Service begins on the 5th of July. What is it? How do you get it? It will provide you with all medical, dental and nursing care. Everyone, rich or poor, man, woman or child, can use it or any part of it. There are no charges except for a few special items. There are no insurance qualifications, but it is not a charity. You are all paying for it, mainly as taxpayers, and it will relieve your money worries in times of illness." Count Corla. That is the kind of health service we need in this country, an Irish National Health Service. We need a National Health Service which is not for profit, is free at the point of use, is funded by a steeply progressive system of taxation, which fully includes the super wealthy and corporate interests, a health service which involves a total separation of church interests from state interests, and one which provides a living wage and reasonable working conditions for its entire workforce. A victory for the nurses and midwives is a victory for all who want a better health service. The fight for workers' rights within the health service and the fight for an Irish National Health Service in reality go hand in hand.